Princess Kate Middleton recently revealed through a video statement that she is undergoing treatment for cancer. The Princess of Wales made the announcement after weeks of speculation and conspiracy theories about her health.
And this news is not the first time the royal family has dominated the headlines. Joining us now to chat about the immense fascination over the royals is Jessica Ghilani, from the University of Pittsburgh at Greensburg.
Welcome.
It's so nice to have you.
Thank you so much. It's Ghilani.
Ghilani.
It's hard to pronounce.
I have a last name I can't pronounce, so believe me, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know we've been talking a lot about the royals on the show, and I mean, people have been fascinated by their family lately. Why do you think that is?
I think that there's been a long-standing fascination in the United States with the royal family because we get to bear witness to all their major milestone events. We get to see the weddings, we get to see the births and the presentation of the royal baby. We get to also bear witness to the scandals. So we love the facade, the glamour, but we also get to kind of cringe at the cracks in the facade. I came of age in the 90s when there were these very dramatic scandals of royal divorces. And then we got to see the children of these royals grow up and get married, and now they are having families of their own. And that, I think, continues to just fascinate so many of us.
Absolutely, and our lack of a royal family as well. I think really, we don't have one. I don't even know who it would be, but I will say I was enamored with all of the conspiracy theories, and I mean, I tried not to perpetuate one of them, but I read all of them on social media. Why do you think that that was born out of Kate not being seen?
Well, I think there were a few different reasons why things kind of went off the rails.
Yes.
I think that because of the kind of twin announcements of surgeries from Buckingham Palace with King Charles and from Kensington Palace with Kate Middleton with Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales, we got really different communication strategies. And I don't think people realize that royal communication is not centralized. They have their own kind of offices that handle their messaging. And what that meant was that we saw these two vastly different approaches to communication. King Charles' office was very willing to disclose information to a degree that has almost never been seen in royal history. And I think that Kensington Palace handling the Waleses were a lot more kind of tight-lipped about things. So speculation began right away among royal watchers. And then when we got updates, we got proof of life from these walks around the garden from the king. We saw him waving, looking healthy, and we didn't see her. That suddenly caused people to say, why are we seeing him and where could she be? And conspiracism is extremely popular on social media. It's more likely to go viral because it stirs people's emotions. So that thumb is on the algorithmic scale, which means we're more likely to see it. And once we see something like it, the algorithm will feed us more content like that, kind of creates this royal explosion. I know that my feeds are very, very Kate-centric right now.
Yes, same.
And over the summer, my feeds were very Taylor Swift-centric. It's something that kind of prompts you to want to see more and learn more. And because that's how we get communication now through social media, we just wind up getting into these wormholes, Alice falling down the rabbit hole.
Deep dive.
Yeah, it's very deep.
We come in every day. We're like, we're deep.
We're in. Yeah, and I mean, we really sense your passion about this subject. And so more recently, she's come out and she said that she has cancer. But even still, there's still speculation as to the legitimacy of that video.
Yes, I think that it really speaks to the fact that this sense of trust has really been almost irrevocably broken. They will have to do so much to gain it back, to gain back that sense of we can believe you because of that Kate Gate photoshopped photo.
I was just gonna say that was the first. That is what opened the floodgates to all of this. And now thinking back, especially as a mother, I'm like, she was just trying to hold it all together. This is her job. She married into this family. She fell in love, I don't want to say with the wrong man. Prince William seems like he's delightful and obviously dealing with a lot right now. I feel like he needs to be given more grace. But I think that there's a lack of humanity when it comes to the royal family. That's disappointing. Have you seen that?
I have, and I think, part of it is because they feel otherworldly to us and therefore almost superhuman. And it seems as though, because they are so incredibly privileged, because they have so much that they were kind of given from birth, it makes them feel fair game. And in the United States, we don't pay with our taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, right.
So we can kind of watch for fun, and it's a little bit more at a distance.
Yeah.
Whereas in the UK, I think there are a lot of people who feel very strongly protective of this family, who's dealing with 2 major senior royals with cancer diagnoses. That's a devastating thing.
And really quickly, I'm wondering, do you use this particular event as a teaching opportunity in your classrooms?
Oh yes, when talking about disinformation, I do workshops in the community and I do classes about how the royals become these kinds of parasocial figures that we get attached to. And we start to speculate about everything, like why are they wearing this? Why are they doing this? Why are they holding their hands this way? We give them so much criticism, but I think it does become, because of all of the media history, a great subject for my media history and media studies classes.
We want to be in it. We are sitting front row at this class. We could talk to you, all day long. I can't wait. Thank you so much for being here.
I would love to have you in class.
Incredible. We'll be there.
Front row.
To check out more discussions from Jessica about the royal family, we'll link you up to her social media on our website, kdk.com/talkpittsburgh.
Yes.